Welcome to this channel where we give you raw facts about women, sex and sexuality. We dive deep into the emotional, psychological, and sexual dynamics between men and women. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you'll be the first to get notified when we upload a new video. In today's video, I'm going to show you 10 powerful ways to get your ex who has lost feelings for you back, by reconnecting with her psychology, her emotional memory, and her feminine core. Because if you understand how women detach, you can learn how to pull her back in the right way. Let's dive in. 1. Reconnect with her indirectly. When the time feels right, after she's had time to feel your absence, you need to find a low-pressure way to re-enter her emotional space. Not with a confession. Not with a late night, "I miss you" text. But with neutral warmth. Something like, "Hey, just saw that post you made about insert relevant topic. Glad to see you're doing well. Wishing you the best." It's non-threatening. It doesn't ask for anything. But it reopens the door. From there, keep it light. Keep it friendly. Avoid old drama. And remember, you're not trying to resume the old relationship. You're trying to create a new emotional pathway with her, one where the connection can spark again, slowly. 2. Make her curious, not jealous. Jealousy is a risky move. If you try to post thirst traps or pose with women just to get her reaction, you may push her further away. Instead, aim for curiosity. Let her wonder. Why does he look happier? Who's he spending time with? Is he really over me? Curiosity is active. It keeps you in her thoughts, without drama. And how do you trigger curiosity? Show growth. Be selective about what you share. Don't overshare your life online, just enough to plant questions. Be seen enjoying life, authentically. Women are naturally drawn to mystery, especially from a man they once knew so well. That contrast pulls them in. 3. Heal the core wound that pushed her away. If she lost feelings, something triggered it. Maybe it was emotional unavailability. Maybe you stopped making her feel seen. Maybe the passion faded. Maybe trust was broken. Whatever it was, face it. This is where most men fail. They want her back, but they don't want to face what made her leave. Own your part. Don't blame. Don't deflect. Don't say, "But I loved her." Ask yourself, did I truly understand her emotional needs? Did I make her feel emotionally safe and desired? Was I consistent, present, and grounded? And when, and if, you have a chance to reconnect, apologize for the right thing. Not for losing her, but for the moments where you lost yourself and stopped showing up for her properly. That's what reopens her heart, not promises, but accountability. 4. Tap into her emotional nostalgia, not her logic. If she's lost feelings, it means she's no longer emotionally attached, but that doesn't mean the emotions never existed. They did. They were real. She laughed with you. She let her guard down with you. She created memories with you. You won't win her back by sending a long text saying, "But we were great together," or listing all the reasons logically why you two should give it another shot. Women don't fall in love through logic. They fall in love through emotional triggers. And here's the key: emotional memory is more powerful than rational memory. When a woman feels her past with you, not just remembers it, you become relevant again. You want to subtly trigger those moments. Post an Instagram story of something you both used to do, like visiting that ramen spot you both loved. Or send a "Hey, saw this today and thought of you" message that isn't desperate but emotionally loaded. Example: passed by the park where we got caught in the rain that day. Still cracks me up. Hope you're doing well. Short, playful, but potent. What this does is it pierces her emotional defenses. She may have distanced herself logically, but emotions don't have boundaries. They leak through cracks. And nostalgia is a crack in even the strongest emotional wall. You're not asking her to come back. You're not even pushing for a conversation. You're just reminding her that what you two had wasn't fiction. It was real. And real feelings don't disappear, they just go silent. Your job is to help them remember how to speak. 5. Become the new you, and let her see it without telling her. Most guys make the fatal mistake of trying to convince their ex they've changed. They say they've matured. They promise they're different. But here's the problem: she doesn't want to hear that. She wants to see it, feel it, sense it, without you ever saying a word. So instead of texting her paragraphs or begging her for another chance, go silent and go to work. Transform yourself, mentally, physically, emotionally. Hit the gym, not just to get abs, but to regain discipline and self-respect. Pursue something you've always delayed, a new skill, a business, a hobby. Heal emotionally. If you had attachment issues, insecurity, or needy behavior, face them. Level up socially, hang out with high-value people. Broaden your world. And when you start to become this upgraded version of you, the kind of man she always hoped you'd grow into, the universe will do something magical. She'll find out. Mutual friends will talk. She might check your stories. She'll notice the subtle shift in your energy, less needy, more grounded. Less emotional chaos, more inner peace. And here's what will happen. Curiosity will replace her indifference. She'll wonder, wait, what changed him? Was I holding him back? Why is he glowing now, without me? This version of you is not trying to get her back. You're simply becoming someone she would never think of leaving again. Because when a woman sees a man upgrade, silently, powerfully, and without trying to prove anything, her emotional defenses start to break. And remember, it's not about faking this change to get her back. It's about genuinely becoming the kind of man who doesn't need to chase, because he attracts. That's the only kind of man she truly respects. 6. Rebuild the sexual polarity without physical touch. Let's be honest, one of the reasons she lost feelings is because the spark, the sexual polarity, vanished. Maybe you became too predictable, too soft, too emotionally dependent. You went from being her lover, to feeling like her roommate, or worse, her emotional crutch. To reignite desire, you need to rebuild the tension. But here's the twist, you're not allowed to touch her. Not yet. This has to be done psychologically, emotionally, energetically. Here's how. Stop being available on demand. When she reaches out, don't respond instantly. Let her feel a slight distance. That emotional gap builds intrigue. Use your masculine energy intentionally. Speak with conviction. Don't over-explain. Hold eye contact if you meet in person. Stay calm and centered. Use mystery as a weapon. Don't overshare. Leave things unsaid. A woman's imagination is more powerful than your words. Make her wonder what's changed in you. Don't seek approval. If she challenges you or throws subtle tests, don't flinch. Hold your frame. Let her feel that your world doesn't revolve around her approval anymore. This tension, the emotional charge between what's said and unsaid, what's possible and what's withheld, is where attraction is born again. Remember, desire isn't born in comfort, it's born in contrast. She needs to feel your masculine edge again, not in an aggressive or controlling way, but in a centered, calm, undeniably masculine way. That energy, the one that made her melt in the beginning, has to re-emerge. Not with force. Not with words. But with presence. When she feels that version of you again, the part of her that lost feelings starts to flicker. 7. Make her feel chosen, not chased. Here's a subtle but crucial distinction most men miss, and it kills their chances of getting her back. Women don't want to be chased. They want to be chosen, and they want to choose you back. Let me explain. When you chase her, you place her on a pedestal. You strip yourself of power. You make her feel like she's doing you a favor by just responding. You reinforce the idea that she's the prize, and that you're the guy who lost. But when you flip the frame and make her feel chosen, even after the breakup, something powerful happens. You raise your perceived value in her eyes. Instead of messaging her, "Please talk to me," try something subtle and powerful like, "I've been doing a lot of growing lately. I'm not the same guy you walked away from. But I get it, you had your reasons. And maybe this isn't meant to be. But if one day you ever feel like something shifted, you'll know where to find me." No begging. No neediness. Just clarity and emotional maturity. This is powerful because it does two things. 1. It shows you respect her choice, and that makes her feel emotionally safe around you again. 2. It suggests that you're not waiting, but you're open if she reconsiders. Now suddenly, she's not being chased, she's being invited back into a space where she has to qualify herself again. That's what shifts her mindset from "he's desperate" to "wait, do I still have access to him?" And once that question enters her mind, game on. 8. Plant emotional seeds through indirect contact. You don't need to talk to her every day. You don't even need her to reply. What you need is to stay emotionally relevant. Think of this like emotional marketing. You're not selling a product, you're reinforcing a presence. You do this subtly. Social media breadcrumbs. Post stories that show growth, joy, and evolution, not loneliness or revenge. Show her without telling her that you're living fully. Mutual friends. If you share a social circle, let them naturally see your new energy and transformation. You don't even have to say much. Your vibe speaks volumes. Energy transference. If she sees you in person, let your energy do the talking. A calm, grounded, happy you is far more magnetic than a begging, broken man. You're not trying to force her to talk. You're simply reminding her, emotionally, energetically, and subtly, that you still exist, and you've evolved. And here's the thing, emotions linger in waves. One day, she'll wake up and miss something. Your voice, your warmth, the way you made her laugh. But if you've stayed emotionally relevant through indirect channels, she'll find a reason to reach out. It won't be logical. It might even confuse her. But she'll feel a pull, and that's all you need. Because women don't come back when you convince them. They come back when they feel like the old spark never really died. It was just buried. 9. Create a moment that feels new, not like the past. If you do reconnect, whether she reaches out or you happen to cross paths, here's where most guys mess up again. They try to go back to the old dynamic. But here's the hard truth. She walked away from that version of the relationship for a reason. So what do? You create a brand new emotional experience. The next time you meet her or talk on the phone, don't rehash the breakup. Don't ask why she stopped loving you. Don't even talk about us. Instead, create a vibe that's fresh, light, and emotionally open, like two people getting to know each other again for the first time. Let her feel like she's not just revisiting the past, she's stepping into a new future that feels different. Better. Healthier. More grounded. Ask her, so, what's been lighting you up lately? What's something new you've fallen in love with? Let her talk. Listen deeply. Make her feel seen again, without trying to impress her. Let her experience a version of you that feels like he's been doing the inner work. This moment is crucial because it resets her emotional associations. Instead of remembering the old you who made her disconnect, she starts associating you with something new, exciting, and emotionally safe. That's how you get her to start imagining a new chapter, not just rereading the old one. 10. Give her the gift of missing you. This is the final and most underrated move. Give her the gift of your absence. Let her feel what life is truly like without your presence, your voice, your care, your love. Let her experience what it's like to not be chosen anymore. And I don't mean disappearing in a manipulative way. I mean this. Stop initiating. Stop checking in. Stop overthinking. Stop trying to be the guy who fixes it all. Just live. Because when a woman feels the contrast between your presence and your absence, she's forced to confront the truth. Did I really lose something I wasn't ready to let go of? And if the love was real, even if it got buried under emotional baggage, arguments, or misaligned timing, she'll feel the ache. That ache, my friend, is the crack in the armor. It's the doorway back in. But only if you've done the inner work, built emotional control, and healed the parts of you that contributed to the distance in the first place. And if she doesn't reach out, if she never comes back, you still win, because the man you've become through this journey is someone you can be proud of. And that, above all else, is what sets you free. You're not chasing love, you're becoming the man love never wants to leave. If your ex has lost feelings for you, it's not about convincing her with words, texts, or constant contact. It's about reawakening the emotional connection by becoming the version of yourself she never expected, and can't resist. You rebuild emotional polarity. You evolve in silence. You trigger nostalgia, not arguments. You lead with masculine calm, not desperation. And most of all, you give her space to choose you again, not be chased into submission. This isn't about manipulation. This is about maturity. Because when you become the man who doesn't need her to come back, but whose presence is so powerful she can't ignore it, that's when real attraction returns. And if it doesn't, you still became the man every high-value woman wants. That's a win either way.